sure you would know about this. I've heard about a group called the 42nd. It's like called the 42nd Street group,
The
and
new
they
42nd
the
Street?
blue 40.
The new 42.
I just heard about this.
I know a
recently.
lot about the new 42. Without Cora Conowitz, the new 42, you would probably not have Disney here. The new 42 is a nonprofit group that holds the leases to the theaters on 42nd Street. And it uses the leases and the income from those leases to subsidize the nonprofit theaters. And the project plan for the street requires that there be at least 2 nonprofit theaters. And what the new 42 did, that was the most gutsy thing, was they created a children's theater on 42nd Street, and it was the first. It's hard to believe that New York had no children's theater, but they did. And it was the first new investment on 42nd Street. And Disney and Eisner would said, without this being here, he would not have come on the street. Disney is not a pioneer. As a public company, they can't afford to be a pioneer. But the new Victory, he said to Cora, "You're going to open before I am, right?" And she said, "Yep." It was really important that they were there, and they were there first. And also, the revitalization of Times Square itself had started before 42nd Street, which was sort of the inversion of the way the city had intended things to happen. They expected 42nd Street revitalization to be the catalyst for the broader Times Square, but it happened the reverse for a whole set of reasons. But that was also influential in Eisner willing to take the risk. Disney's biggest risk was reputation risk, not financial risk, and which is why it was important that the Children's Theater be open there first. And at that point, I think Morgan Stanley had already made the commitment to buy 1585 Broadway. So you had a lot of things happening in the area that made it, that gave Disney some comfort. But first and foremost, they needed a theater. And the New Amsterdam was the gem.
Well, what are they doing now, the new 42? What are they?
They manage the theaters. They manage the leases. They own the Duke, and they have one of the best buildings on the street. They've got a building that has rehearsal space for lots of groups, dance, theater, etc. They run the 2 nonprofit. Well, they run the Duke and the Black Box theaters. They run their building. They also have one space which is still in the process of finding or being built out, the Times Square Theater. And they run the New Victory Theater. They're the long-term player on the street. They've got a 99-year lease on these theaters.